Just mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie boys.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good time. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys would come in, say,
oh, God.
So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in a headlock. And he's sitting there.
Helmet.
He's punching me in the stomach, like steady punching me.
Here, and there's everyone sitting around. Who here thinks Ovchinko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's been with the team 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ovchinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I fucking saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
You heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled.
Whoa. What was that?
Time to start the show.
I never want to eat.
Why would I have that?
Oh, God, you had in a circus or something. What was that?
6'3", I'm late. Like, I don't even know what I'd be doing.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they're
all fatter than I am.
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
I mean, you're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now.
Hello. Good evening. No. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Mic'd Up. Today's Friday, February 10th. We have a wonderful show for you today. This is our Fun Fridays here at the studio now. We are no longer doing it where we used to do it. We do it here. We appreciate our former partners, and we are excited for the future of our show. You gotta turn your mic on.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
There
They
we go.
switched me. I'm 6 now.
There you go.
Damn, I'm moving down the lineup. That feels about right.
That's okay. Hey, sometimes they just got to put you in the position where they think that you can drive in the most runs, and sometimes you get some protection in the 6th spot. You know what I mean?
Double lead off if they put me back to 9.
Well, that's not so much the case.
You got protection in the 6th spot. That lineup's stacked.
That protection. Similar to what LSU's probably going to have this year. But let's get to the show. We're going to go through the Heineken headlines. LSU cannot stay out of the media limelight in the offseason.
Make our job easy, huh?
Makes our looks. We were talking about last night. Hey, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to do on this Friday show? We're going to keep the fun vibes going, but what are we going to talk about? Well, that got answered.
Bombshell.
That got answered real quick at the end of the night, and we're not going to get into details because there's a lot of details that we don't know about the situation. I would not consider ourselves journalists by any means.
Oh, me.
I would consider ourselves, we just like to have a good time talking about the sports world and having discussions. We're not telling you who's right, who's wrong. We're going to tell you our opinion on things. And, Brian Kelly was in the news yesterday. There was a report coming out about him being divorced and then not being divorced. And I think that it is now he is not divorced. Things were filed and unfiled, and then who knows if they're filed or not filed. And that's stuff I want to speak on because I don't know the details. All I know is his family came to his aid, his side, and said, hey, this is what's going on. And it seems like they have, for the moment, gotten everything under control and got everything under wraps. And
back in house.
Yes. So, LSU football is again in the media. And listen, we don't know what went down. There's a lot of things that could have happened, that may have happened. Maybe these conversations have been happening for a while. Who knows? I'm not one to speculate based off of no information. So I would be remiss if I didn't bring that up. We're not going to just, have a huge discussion about it because this is a man's private life, and he can do what he wants to do, and let him do what he needs to do and fix it and handle it how he wants to handle it. But we are a sports show, and that was in the news, and that is something that we would like to mention.
I have some thoughts.
We'll
get to them.
I'm sure you do. Justin Jefferson wins Offensive Player of the Year at the NFL Honors event last night. It looked like it was pretty fun. Kirk Cousins.
He looks like a baby doll.
He really tried. My jaw's killing me. I don't know
Adderall.
what the deal is. No, it's not Adderall. I'm not on Adderall.
Oh, that's mine then. Just my experience.
Yeah, I don't know. But
TMJ.
he is. I do have that.
Lucky wife.
He wore the chains and he was doing the whole jump up and down thing on the stage and I don't know. Sometimes I think I like Kirk Cousins. Sometimes I think that he's a doofus. I don't know.
I think he's pretty goofy. I think he
he embraces
he owns it.
goofiness.
I think he owns it and is goofy enough to where everybody's like, "This is him."
Which
this
I
is what
like,
you
which
get.
I can deal with. Like,
Yeah.
if you try to be cool when you're a doofus and you don't really know that you're a doofus, then I think that
I don't
that's
like
that. And I think that he knows it and he's embracing that. So I respect that.
I think he knows he's a nerd, and everyone knows he's a nerd, and
He turned it from laughing at me to laughing with me.
Exactly, which I respect.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do, and I respect that. That's being very self-aware of your
Savvy sold separately.
Yes, savvy sold separately, no doubt. A week from today, we will be talking about opening day for the LSU baseball team. They're 7 days away from the opening day of the season. I know a lot of people are excited. We keep getting a lot of interaction, a lot of text messages, a lot of messages on social media about the team. That is the hot topic around Baton Rouge. Everywhere I go, how high the Tiger's going to be, is the hype real, all this stuff. I'm here to tell you the hype is real. I'm excited to see what this team is going to do moving forward. That starts next week, next Friday. So 7 days from today.
Mike Hollander Day.
Mike Hollander Day. Shout out to Mike Hollander.
Give him a shout.
He does not listen to the show, but shout out to Mike Hollander. Was a number 7. Grant Dozar, another number 7 that I played with. I'm trying to think of other number 7s. Dykeman, was he a 7? No.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
He was a 7.
What was Todd? Todd wasn't 7.
Todd Walker's 12.
12.
you
7
should
for
know.
the Cubs.
Yeah, you should know Todd Walker's got his number retired.
I haven't gone to a game in a while. That's why I need to get those tickies.
We got you. Speaking of baseball, Arkansas starting pitcher, their ace, the number one 41st overall college player, I believe, in the draft coming up, is out for the year with Tommy John. Unfortunate for them. I never want to see anybody go down. I'm not saying that because I want to praise it. It's news, and it's very relevant news to the LSU baseball program and the LSU baseball faithful. So Jackson Wiggins is his name. Tears his UCL. Tommy John. Very unfortunate situation.
Do you think that's a tougher thing to deal with now or 3 weeks into the season?
I think into the season, because I think now you at least have a little time to, okay, I'm out. The season didn't start. Blah blah blah. But in the season, you start getting rolling. You know what I mean? It's
I'd say now too, because it's tougher to open up SEC play, trying to find someone to stretch out and trying to figure out who's going to be able to do it and what other spots you're going to fill too. That's a little tough.
Little tough. Oklahoma and Texas officially will join the SEC in 2024. That's probably what I should have led with. That's what I was going to lead with until we got punched in the face last night with some news that probably should have been that we needed to lead the show with. But they have moved that entry into the SEC up a year. And part of that is because it's all about money. It's all about TV deals.
Student athlete.
Texas. Is it Texas going to play Michigan, right? Texas going to Michigan next year to open the season, or 2024. No, next year to open the season. It was supposed to be the other way, or 2024 to open the season. It was supposed to be the other way, and they flipped it. So they go to Michigan in 2024 to start the season. Michigan comes back to Texas in 2027. So because of that change in schedule, they decided, the Big 12 said that it was okay for Oklahoma and Texas to move into the SEC a year early because they are not going to lose that TV money from the Big 12 network or whatever, whatever deal. Is it Fox? Who has the
I don't know.
Why are you laughing at me?
Because I'm just seeing what's behind that sign.
Yeah. I had all the stuff set up. I couldn't get up and leave.
I'm literally just seeing that.
But so they move in. They have to pay $100 million to the Big 12 to leave early. They'll get that in 1 year, based off of
What the teams got paid out this year?
based off the TV deals, and the TV deals are only going to go up over the course of the next couple of years. So that makes it very exciting.
It's with ESPN, 10-year deal. SEC and ESPN.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Big 12.
Oh, that's with CBS. No, they got the Big 10. I don't know that's the Big 12. Who cares?
Well, my point is once they changed the home and away series, that's why they were able to move. That was a hold up and why they weren't able to move early. Now they're able to move. I think it's going to be huge for the SEC. We've talked about this. A lot of people have talked about this. Texas and Oklahoma just further cement the prowess of the SEC, I believe. And 2024 is going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to have them in the SEC. At least they're a year earlier, not 2025. 2024 is really it's basically here.
I felt like you should have seen that coming, right? With the change in contract, it just makes sense to kind of get everybody into the conference
for sure.
at the same time.
For sure. Super Bowl Sunday. Before Super Bowl.
You can't say that. The big game. You can't say Super Bowl. The NFL has it copyrighted.
I cannot say Super Bowl.
No.
Why?
Because the NFL has it copyrighted. They're the only league. Like, have you ever seen the end of a football game where they're like, the NFL and its partners have exclusively, like, like the warning that they put, and they make it sound cool, but they're actually threatening you. And they've copyrighted the word, or the two words, Super Bowl. So that's why everybody calls it the big game or make some sort of
wow,
play
I
on
didn't
words
know
about
that.
it. Yeah.
So you're telling me I can't say.
Can we say the SUPERBOWL on Sunday?
You could say the SOUPER. Soup. Bowl. Big bowl of soup.
Bowl.
Okay.
The big game is on Sunday.
Big
So
game.
wait, you're telling me right now that I can't, unless I'm working for them, say, wow.
Uh-huh.
That's impressive. I didn't know that.
The power.
Wow.
Can't say that either, apparently, on some other shows.
Well, I don't think that the league. I don't think that they don't carry as big of a stick. I don't believe on that one. But big game is on Sunday. Before the big game, there is another big game which I know is not copyrighted. The LSU South Carolina women's basketball undefeated matchup is Sunday at 1:00 on ESPN prior to the big game. So
First loss for somebody in 48 attempts for both teams.
yeah, and apparently the committee does not think LSU women's basketball has impressed them enough to be a number one seed in the tournament. Not even a number 2 spot in the actual rankings, but they're not even a number 1 seed in the projected bracketology right now. They are a number 2 seed right now.
They're expecting a slide,
Apparently, I don't know. But you got 2 undefeated teams playing on the road in South Carolina. Of course, Dawn Staley has had a lot of success at South Carolina. She's had her moments on some things that she's been critical about with LSU women's basketball. Obviously, Coach Kim Mulkey-Robertson is not shy of letting people know her opinions, right? I'm not going to say controversy because those are her opinions. If people don't like what their opinions and they want to cause controversy, that's one thing. So I think that it's going to be an electric matchup on the court, but I also think that both coaches are polarizing enough to where there's going to be a lot of fanfare, and everybody's going to be getting ready for the big game party that they're having on Sunday. And so now they have something to do before the big game because it's going to be over at 3.
It's a great day for that game to be held because, especially bringing attention to women's sports, because everybody's TV is going to be on pretty much all day when it comes to Super Bowl Sunday. The big game Sunday.
Big game.
It's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. So I enjoy it. I'll be watching it for sure. It'll be a good day. It'll be a good start to the day. That'll lead into the night.
Do y'all have any plans?
No
for the big game?
plans.
As of right now, no. No, not right now.
Me either, to be honest with you. I thought that for sure I would get some
There's the pressure on you to throw
text.
the party.
I'm
down?
not. I will tell you, there is 0% chance of me throwing a party. I am exhausted from my travels and my social calendar. And I'm not saying that to give a humble brag on saying that I'm popular. I would love nothing more than to have a weekend
You with LeBron?
of not having to do anything. I'm talking about, hey, nobody calls my phone or something schedules. Like, I would have nothing, love nothing more than that.
So like LeBron, I just want to be able to go to Starbucks and
That's not what I'm saying at all.
You want to go to Target
No.
and just be a
Costco,
normal person?
maybe.
Yeah.
He enjoys aisle 6 by himself in Target. He doesn't get that much. Yeah.
What's aisle 6?
I don't really know.
Oh, I thought there was a
Just
joke
a nice,
that I did miss.
just a nice walk in Target by yourself.
Listen, I haven't been to Target in a long time.
Target was the spot in Alexandria. You could have, they had kind of like the Costco before Costco, where you could get like an icy and a pretzel before you walked around and shopped, which is
You know what?
an elite experience.
I think I'm gonna go get an icy. I don't like that a lot of these gas stations are taking the actual OG icy out and making it into this other like.
I think
thing.
icy's out of business.
No, some places still have them.
Right, but I think that like they're not adding more is what I'm saying. Like if you've got an OG icy machine, it's tough to
You
get.
can buy them. I think I might buy one.
I did steal an icy polar bear and like this like the logo. Some guy left it on his truck in college, and I took it and put it in.
I was just waiting for you to tell me you took it out of like Circle K instead.
No, but he was going to
dog.
replace it, and he left it on top of his truck, and I was like, "This is a unique opportunity here. Who wouldn't want one of
So
these?"
where
Is
is
this
that?
daytime or nighttime?
Oh, middle of the day.
So where is that? Where is that?
We put it at my boy Galen's house, and he kept it for like 3 years.
And then where is it now?
Or is it
I
now?
don't know. That's up to him. It was a gift,
It
Todd.
was a gift, Todd. Take it with me.
I'm sure he did. I hope so.
All right, let's talk a little sports.
Okay.
Where do you want to start? How do you want to do this? You want to talk about your opinions on the?
I just feel like the kids missed out on 2 Christmases. Why would you get involved in that? They could have had 2 super rich parents, and you'd have been able to, be able to hit Christmas up twice.
I mean, listen.
I don't usually think that that's how it.
I don't think that's how kids think in those situations.
I'm not sure that that's really the thought process.
I
behind it.
think that.
Oh, I hope this happens because we get 2 Christmases.
I would have been on Twitter being like, yeah, they're broken up. Can't wait to see you
What?
December 24th and December 25th, Pops.
What?
I'm glad they reconciled.
I don't know if it's all. I mean, we'll find out. Like I said, it's obviously in flux. There was a lot of news that came out where you saw the court proceedings and documents like that don't exist in case unless somebody files.
No, I don't think anybody lied about. Like, I don't think that there was a.
Like WBRZ's catching a lot of flack for this, and they were just kind of doing their. I mean, once you get that information, you don't think that they confirmed with a bunch of people.
Yeah. I'm not saying
That's
that
a tough story
I'm
to
not
leak.
saying anybody was wrong or right, but I think it happened, and maybe they had reconciled before, and then it came out, and now it's like, okay, now the kids came out and said, oh no, that's not true, all this stuff. Right now, listen, there's WBRZ was doing what they thought.
Was news.
They're reporting news, right? They weren't trying to trash anybody. They weren't trying to make it a bad thing. The kids came out and did what they thought was the right thing and defended their family and their parents and the whole thing. And now they've obviously reconciled and said that, okay, now they're not separating or moving on. They are working this thing out, which I admire and I respect. And that's the only thing that I can say on that, because what I see and what I read and what I hear is what everybody else is, and that's the only thing that I can say. It's not my place
To report on it.
to report or make any assumptions or accusations or allege anything about the situation, because I don't know. The only thing I know is what I am being told, and that's the only thing that I can take. Now, I know a lot of people don't believe and want to listen to trust the media, which I understand, because there's been some issues and situations where they don't feel like the media sometimes does a job of keeping the. They think sometimes the media goes out of their way to report on something just because it makes the news look good, instead of like, hey, how is this going to affect the other parties being involved, all this type of stuff. So
yeah, trying to be first, the TMZ approach.
Right.
And if you're in that camp, or not in that camp, but if you were a part of that team yesterday that felt like you should run with that, be careful who you're approaching. You're approaching probably the biggest entity in Baton Rouge and in Louisiana. So I would have almost. You better be damn sure what you're reporting on before you do it. Like that would have been my only critique of it as somebody that, as a former journalist.
Yeah, and I'm not saying anybody was wrong in the situation. Like I said, I don't know the details. All I am saying is this is news. It was in the news, and it's something that we would.
The only question I got in the whole thing is the actual, and we don't know if it's real or not. I guess it is at this point. If the document that's been floating out there showing that this actually happened, I'm wondering if that was available to them or if they could have found that before the initial report. You know,
you're talking about like they held on it for a while and then dropped it?
No, not they. I don't think they had it. My point is, I wonder if it was actually out there to where they could have gotten it. You know what I'm saying? So like you're saying, like be careful of what you're reporting and how you report it. Find out everything you probably can about it, as opposed to just, well, we have this bit of it, shoot it out there. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm wondering, if that was actually available and if they could have found that, or if that stuff became available after their initial report came out and they're like, well, no, this is a real thing. It's out there,
And on the other side of it, right, being Brian Kelly and being as high profile as you are, like, this is something that is going to happen, right? Like, if something like this is out there, floating out there, then you have to expect that, okay, there's going to be some sort of attention brought to it because of the title that I carry and who I am, right? And that's just the reality of the world that we live in today.
Because if you work in like the courthouse or whatever where that was filed, there's going to be somebody that sees that name and goes.
Right. And that's my point. My point is like the initial headlines that came out, well, it may look a lot different, or you could probably word it a lot different if you have that document and just say, we got hands on this. And we know this to be real.
Yeah, and it could be an ever.
So I don't know if it's still going. I don't know when this thing, but this is
what happened. I don't know where they are now.
Right, exactly. It looks a little different if it comes out that way, and that's what I'm wondering, if it was available to them before that at all.
I don't know.
We don't know.
The answer is that we don't know.
But it is. But I mean, to the case of what like we were saying in the group text, like LSU football, my God. It never ends. Like when you think there's a slow time in sports, like this thing rears its ugly head, and
but listen.
It's just LSU's always in the news. I'm sure this will be like on national television at some point. Like this will get national.
And I'm not condoning. I'm not saying like, oh, like divorce is okay, and like, but it's not like it happens every day in the world. Like it's just part of life. Sometimes like people go their separate ways and they do some things happen. Like it shouldn't. At the end of the day, it's not if it doesn't affect the way he coaches and operates the team, like, all right, let's move on forward. Now, if it
just comes on the
last
heels of
situation,
I wonder if something like this too.
Luckily, it wasn't in the season. And like
I would say you're lucky in the sense of like if this is, I don't know, if we're into February, starting March or whatever, something like this happens, and it may be in the news for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Just maybe they might have slid their way. Maybe it may have been a strategic move to do this before the Super Bowl, so it wasn't huge news.
That's what he called the Friday night news dump.
Right.
Like that's what Urban Meyer tried to do when he hired that racist strength and conditioning coordinator. He just slid that name in there on a Friday with like.
Is that what he tried to do when he slid the finger there too? Or what?
No, I think I mean, I'm just gonna stay back. Interesting approach by him.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, somehow he landed on his feet.
Broad day boy. Still got a job. Still doing it.
Still doing it. Probably get paid a good
College
amount of money to do
still
that.
giving it. The gift
About to get the Ohio State job. Just give it one more year.
No, I don't think his coaching days are done. No, maybe not.
I don't know about that.
Maybe not. All right, let's move on.
I thought his days of being affiliated with college football currently was done, and that's right there. So who knows?
Well,
Herb's the gift that keeps on giving.
Always. Herb. Different herb. Not the good herb.
If one's illegal and one's not, and it's not, and it's not the one you think.
Exactly. All right, let's move on. So did y'all watch any of the? Was it televised last night? Mm-hmm. All the stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did y'all watch any of the awards?
I did.
What'd you think about it? I think the NFL does a pretty good job.
Great
in
award
that situation.
I thought it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they do a very good job. Justin Jefferson won the Offensive Player of the Year Offensive Player of the Year. He almost had 2,000 yards receiving. He was given the award by Jamar Chase. They did a little handshake on the,
one passed it to the other.
Yeah, of course. And I think the way the NFL goes about it, and I don't disagree with any of the awards. last night. I think that, obviously Justin Jefferson is very deserving. I think that was.
I can't say this though.
I was surprised.
I won't even.
You were?
Oh no!
Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. He was in the running for MVP as well as
Yeah.
Joe Burrow. So Offensive Player of the Year, not surprised. Patrick Mahomes gets MVP.
I would say I was a little surprised, but at the end of the day, I guess I could see it as well. I was a little surprised that Geno won the award over Saquon, the Comeback Player of the Year, just because of. But they were both deserving. So
but here's my issue with that. What did Geno come back from?
That's my point.
Like if there
That's
was
how I felt about it.
If there was a surprise player of the year,
like he was
Geno.
active and healthy
right.
for the last however many
right.
years.
That's not
Saquon was literally not healthy for
Right. He
pretty much
came
2
back
years
from an
straight.
injury.
He came back from not being able to play,
right.
not
that's
not
what I
getting
think.
the job.
I think the Comeback Player of the Year award,
Yeah.
you have to come back from something, whether you came back from a very bad year,
Yeah.
Whether you came back, and I guess they can consider, he had a bad year, but he didn't really even play.
I get, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not that surprised, but if I would have put money on it, I would have thought it would have been Saquon.
I think you deserve that one. But listen,
and they both had great years.
great for
So
sure.
like,
Geno,
there's no slight in it at all.
Geno did right back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I swing and miss on all of my futures for these awards. I had.
You see the guy almost hit $1 million. He almost hit them all.
Really?
He hit every award but
Did he parlay them?
Offensive Rookie of the Year. He did it in September 8th.
Who did he
my
pick?
God.
He Offensive Rookie of the Year. He picked Chris Olave, which obviously Chris Olave had a great
Could have
year.
easily wanted to.
And so that's the only one he missed. He got the MVP. He got Offensive Player of the Year. He got Defensive Player of the Year. He got Defensive Rookie of the Year. Offensive Rookie. He got them all. I mean, not
crazy.
offensive. Other one, but except offensive.
Yeah.
Rookie. Unbelievable.
That's
$3
I went over.
would have won $1 million.
That's crazy.
I had courtesy of Caesar Sportsbook. I had Tom Brady for MVP, Joe Burrow for MVP. Well, I knew it was going to be his last
So you had
year.
2 futures of MVPs.
Tom.
3. I thought that the NFL was going to help him out a little bit, like help him ride into the sunset.
Oh, so you're a conspiracy guy.
No, he
Yeah.
thought it was scripted.
Yeah,
He was on the.
So you thought he got the script, was like, I'm about to dominate
Yeah,
again.
that's why I'm coming back.
Oh, my
I'm about to
God.
divorce my wife for this MVP in the
Oh,
Super
my
Bowl.
God.
Because I bet they'd win the Super Bowl too. But I had Joe Burrow, which had a chance.
Yeah, he was in the running.
Tom Brady, and then I had Josh Allen as my 3, and then I had Jameis as comeback player of the year.
I had that one on there too. No, I didn't. I had Jameis as I had Michael Thomas as comeback player of the year before the season, which I thought maybe.
I think I do too.
And then I had Jameis as leading the league in passing yards.
I had that
Obviously.
too.
Hey, props to the Jets, too. They literally swept the
They
Rookie
probably.
of the year.
You said a good point. They probably had 3 of them.
And probably,
Well, they could have 3.
if the other one stayed healthy, the guy that did win the Offensive Rookie of the Year probably would have been second in the call.
Yep.
Last team to
Because
do
the Brees
that.
Hall guy was very good.
Last team to do the offensive rookie and defensive rookie of the year.
The Saints.
Really? Reggie Bush? No.
No, Marshawn Lattimore and Alvin Kamara.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. To 2017.
Yeah, good drafting.
Was that the year?
Yeah, I was in Natchitoches, so that sounds right.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm just.
that
I
helps
just
me.
remember
Yeah.
one.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, that's exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
you're
that's
right.
the
Okay,
one.
I'm right. That makes sense. That makes sense. You're in. I knew that. I knew you were in.
No, I'm just talking about my timeline of my life. I remember watching it on the couch, and I was
It's
like,
not about
watching
you,
the
Lloyd.
draft.
It's
No,
not
that's
everything's
how I
not about
reference
you.
things, where I was in my life. Usually how timelines work.
What I thought was interesting is Micah Parsons didn't receive 1 vote for defensive player of the year.
We got
But he got to announce with her, so you know.
we got
And her said she loves.
She did. She seemed to
loves,
like him a lot.
She said it in a good way too. Sounded good coming out of
Good
her mouth.
consolation.
I love the way.
Good consolation, I think,
play
with
the
his
game.
with his baby mom and his kid sitting right there.
Mm.
That's not good.
I think he got blackballed, huh? Because if he was his kind of
He's very vocal.
yeah,
You
he's got
think?
he's got some takes out there.
I respect it. I think his takes actually make sense. To be honest with you, some of them.
Yeah,
I mean, which ones are the ones that are most controversial? I don't remember off the top of my
I was
head.
talking about the old Donnie T,
Donnie T.
Donnie Trumpets, Donald Trump.
Oh, he did talk about Donald Trump. Yeah,
You
that's,
see our guys sitting
anytime
there.
you drop that, it's
That's
tough.
what I'm saying. You're gonna
it's
divide.
tough.
It's a very
You see our
divisive.
guys sitting there looking very, very, very GQ. Peter Wright, shouts to him.
I didn't see him.
Oh,
I missed that.
He got a lot of camera time.
Yeah, because he was next to Dak.
You got a lot of camera time.
He was
Dak
next to-
gave him a shout out in the in his
I missed the
acceptance
Dak.
speech.
I
Yeah.
missed the Dak.
You
Damn.
didn't watch it at all.
No, I did. I watched some of it. I missed the Dak. I missed mixed. Apparently, that's the biggest award in the NFL.
Yeah, it is.
Walter Payton Man of the Year is like the most prestigious award in the NFL. That is known from like
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, yeah.
You get
Right.
That's
Luke
why it's the end.
Skywalker.
That's why it's the last award they give.
And so that's why they did all the, man, is it USA Today that went out and did all the investigative reporting on all of the foundation work that these people that have that have won the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. So like,
Oh, so you tell me Russell Wilson didn't win?
no, he did it. That's why they looked at him like he had won prior in a previous year, and so they went back and looked through all these foundations of all the people who have won it, trying to find dirt on them. People like, come on, man, do something better with your time instead of just trying to like. Anyway, I'm not gonna
I
get
don't
into
know.
that.
That's how Brett Favre got caught.
That's we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. But so yeah, Walter Payton Man of the Year is like the most prestigious award in the NFL. Dak wins it, right? Dak's financial advisor is our friend Peter Wright here in Baton Rouge, and so Peter was there. What did he give Peter a shout out for? Helping him
Just part of the team. I guess Peter does a good amount of work
for
helping
the
out
foundation.
his foundation and stuff.
You know who else is right next to him? The guy who makes all the suits. Gentleman's Playbook is his name on Instagram. He creates all the suits that the NFL guys wear.
I'm gonna tell you what, Dak's suit was fire.
He made that one, so he does that.
Well, he did a good job.
I met him in 2017 in baseball, and so he made a few of mine. Then
You do have good suits.
he made a few of mine then, including my tux.
Yeah.
And then he's shot up and a little expensive now.
His clientele.
I'm
list
not
is-
making big league money.
His clientele list is pretty firm
Yeah,
right now.
I'm not making big league money anymore. So hey, when I get back to that point of making big league money,
we'll talk soon,
I'll
baby.
get another phone call.
Don't forget about
But yeah, man,
See the
he's
way
doing
my,
all
see the way
those.
my check-ins and savings is
Yeah.
set up is. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, the way my bank account's set up is you got but he does a very good job. So he does all the
I don't get
stuff
paid to the end of the month, so
for the NFL guy. A lot of athletes. So I saw him there sitting right next to Dak and the whole squad. But congratulations, Dak. Congratulations to everybody that won awards. I think they do. I think that's probably the best award
And
show
all the
of
nominees.
all the sports. Baseball don't even have a show.
I don't even have a draft show.
Baseball, you forget. Yeah, they have a draft show.
I know, but
And they do it like after the World Series, doesn't it? Like the awards.
Yeah, you don't
So it's
even
like,
know
like,
that.
like baseball season's completely over.
You don't
when
even
they
know
finally
they're
do
giving the awards.
Yeah.
Like the Rawlings Gold Glove just starts popping up on Twitter when I'm watching. Like, oh, that's tonight.
why
do they
doesn't
do
Major League Baseball just copy the?
Why can't we just
The
make it
NFL
Why can't they
format.
make it an event?
That's
Make
a-
it something fun. Make it like
Too stubborn, man. Well, too stubborn.
why? Why do we do that? I'm not them anymore. Why do they do that?
Yeah, you can get as mad as you want now.
Like why? Make this fun. Make this to where people don't make it boring.
Yeah.
Let's change it. Yeah. Let's make it to where people want to go and see this thing.
Especially with all the personalities in baseball.
Well, the personalities have been there, but for so long it's always been about taking away the personalities.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're stifling the people that would be like awesome to have them. Like if you love Travis Kelce, there's 10 of those on a roster on a Major League Baseball team.
Right.
Like there's so many funny guys
The thing about it is when you have the opportunity to, I guess, personalize the characters, I guess, if you will, that are on the field every day and make them regular people doing regular people stuff, like wearing regular people clothes, giving regular people answers and stuff like that, you should take those opportunities. So when you're doing an award show and you're giving it out, not even an award show, when you're giving out these awards, but all you want to do is, oh, we'll call you on tonight on ESPN and we'll put you on and you'll be at home with your family in your living room. It hits a little different than an actual award show where you get to see people having fun.
Yeah, what's
Like,
the one?
you know what I mean?
Yeah, what's the one for the television shows where they're all drinking and having like a great time? It's not the Grammys, it's not the Oscars, it's the
Emmys. I think.
Emmys?
I think so.
Yeah, where they're all like all the celebrities get shit faced and they have a great time.
Emmys.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that hosts?
Will.
Yeah. Oh God, he got a little out of hand.
Was that at the Emmys?
It was either at the Emmys or the Oscars.
I think that was at the Oscars.
It was at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And then there's the like the New Year's Eve, whenever that guy was getting shit canned on air and people loved it, then they made him stop drinking. Then one of the two hosts, like you don't remember this the
What
past
New
2
Year's
years?
Eve? Dick Clark's rockin' Christmas Eve party.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
it's
it?
not what it's not about. Dick Clark, rest in peace. I think it's done by two different guys. I don't know his name, but people will know.
Ryan Seacrest. Didn't he do it?
No, here I just.
I'm pretty sure Ryan Seacrest does it.
It's like an older guy.
Now look, I'll give the NFL this too. They get the leg up on MLB when it comes to being able to do an award show. In that sense of that is that the NFL sets dates obviously years in advance of where the Super Bowl is going to be. Baseball doesn't know until the day of, or the week before, I guess, if you will. So like that helps them a lot, you know.
But you can always.
There's ways you could figure it out.
Yeah, there's always.
I'm not getting paid to do it, so that's not my job. But there's ways you can.
Where was the NFL award?
It was in Scottsdale.
Oh, so it's always
Symphony Hall in Phoenix.
So it's
somewhere.
always where the Super Bowl is.
I'm not sure, but
that sounds like it would be. That's part of.
That sounds like it would be. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's harder.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have Patrick Mahomes there.
Yeah, I guess it's harder for the MLB to do stuff like that. But still, even if you don't do it that way, right? Maybe you say, all right, we're always going to be in New York or LA or, you know.
Yeah, you can set
Chicago.
it in Chicago.
Put it right in the middle of middle of the country. Say we're always going to do it somewhere.
I would just do it whenever you have Game 1 of the World Series, do it that week.
Well, we just talked about why it's hard to do that though. NFL does it that way because the Super Bowl
they have
spot
a set location.
is set location.
So like you set the
so
location.
being able to to being able to do all that. Look, I'm not saying it's impossible.
It's not.
I know it's not impossible. That's obvious, but it is costly. I would imagine.
Well,
if you're
and
trying to do it all
yeah,
like
and
that.
so like that's everybody's going to be scrambling to have the parties. If you want to make it the event, everybody's going to scramble to set everything up.
Whether
travel,
there's only 2 teams in the Super Bowl, right? Season starts. I could make a decision right now to be in that city. If I'm playing in the Super Bowl, no big deal. I'll just cancel the flight and the booked room or something, right? But I can make a plan to be in that city.
And you got 2 weeks before the last playoff game in the Super Bowl, right?
Exactly.
So I mean, I get it. You still can do some things to make it more interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the NFL. Super Bowl is on Sunday.
The big game.
The big game is on Sunday. What do y'all think about the big game on Sunday? Who do y'all think is going to win?
I think I'll give you. I think if it's a low-scoring game, low-ish. I don't know what low-ish scoring game. I think the Eagles win. I think if you let Kansas City's offense do what they want, they win. I ultimately think Kansas City will win. So I think it's going to be more of that game than it will be low-scoring.
I was talking to Lloyd before the show started, and I was like, I'm just going to start hammering. I think I'm going to empty the clip on my money in my account on Super Bowl prop bets. So I've already started. Okay? And so the spread's 1.5.
Yeah.
So then I go look at the website, and I go look at where the money's coming from, who's betting what, where the percentage of bets. It's 60% of the bets are going to Eagles,
Philly.
And 60% of the money is on Philly. So, because before that, I was like, I think I want Philly. And Lloyd's like, no, I think everybody wants Philly. So I went check, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually do what I said I was going to do a year ago, and I'm going to follow trends. I'm going to go opposite of what I think everyone else is going to do because that's what I'm going to do. So then I went Kansas City money line, which is plus money. And I said, screw it. I'm doing it, right?
That's what I think's going to win.
But my gut really tells me that I think Philly's going to win.
You think it's Philly's year? I think a lot of people are carrying over from the last time Philly made the run where it felt like Team of Destiny.
No,
I
think this is why I think people like Philly. And
well,
this is why
and your heart. Here's
they run the ball really well.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But
here's my thing, and I guess when I look at it like this, I'm just thinking to myself, in my heart of all hearts, do I really see Philly's defense just shutting down Mahomes in that offense? I don't. I really don't. So then, in my heart of all hearts, do I really see Jalen Hurts basically outscoring Patrick Mahomes in a shootout or somewhat shootout? I don't.
Well, and so on the flip side of that, I agree. I don't think that play for play, Philly is going to be able to stop. I think Kansas City is going to be able to score, right?
Right.
But Philly has 4 guys, I think, on their team that have 10-plus sacks, right? So you don't necessarily have to stop them from driving all the way down, but a sack fumble or something, maybe you get a big play and you flip it and you say, okay, there's an extra possession that we get back. And if Philly can run and control the clock because they run the ball so well, that maybe
That's the
they
formula.
just take away some of the possessions of Kansas City, and that was my thought process on it, right? So like,
Well, there's two
but
things.
I took Kansas City money line.
No, there's two schools of thought there, and I would agree with you. Patrick Mahomes this year has been the least sackable quarterback in the NFL. If he is injured, if that ankle thing flares up, that's when you start live betting. That's when you hop on. If you see him hobble, that's when you start to see that pass rush get after him. Also, the Eagles have had the second easiest schedule in the NFL this year. So a lot of those blowouts and stuff, that makes it easier for you to run the ball because you have the lead the entire time. So that's where I agree with J. Mitch in terms of if it turns into a KC where their offense is rolling, they're not going to be able to keep up.
And I'll also say this too.
Because you get out the run game.
I don't even really know if like legit stats support this. But I also do think over the past 3 to 4 or 5 years, Kansas City's had like one of those defenses that's been trash to begin the year. And then as the year goes, they get better and better and better. And then the playoffs come and they do enough. And I think that's what they end up doing in this one. They do enough to where their offense puts up more on the board than the other.
And by do enough, it just means leave enough time on the clock and keep it close for Patrick Mahomes to get the ball back.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know if there's real stats to support it. Like if I gave just stats on them, if it's going to be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. I don't know if that does. But I think by playoff time, they end up just doing enough to be able to have the offense do what they need to do.
Listen, I took a money line, so I'm good with it. I'm good with the money. I also took Travis Kelce to score first touchdown score.
Oh wow, you're working right now.
I also took McKinnon to score a touchdown in the game.
Clip's still empty, baby. I'm still shooting.
Oh no, there's some in there still. I took
Extendo.
I took the coin flip to be tails.
Let Chiquita speak.
Right. What else?
Who's doing the anthem this week? Who's doing the anthem?
Oh, I haven't bet that yet, but I am going to take the over on the anthem.
Who's doing it? Do we know?
I believe it's a country singer.
Is it?
Right? You looking it up for us?
Chris Stapleton.
Oh, okay. I like the over on that. Too.
I like the over.
I do like the over.
I like the over.
Nice little country singer.
He's gonna let it go. He's gonna hold it for a little long.
I like the over on that.
Land of the free.
What is the over under on that? You think?
226. That's my guess.
Let's see. I'm on the website right now. Star Spangled Banner.
Wow. So you talked about Brett Favre suing McAfee and Brett Favre sued McAfee and who was the other one?
Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp for defamation. Mm-hmm. McAfee says, "Let's ride this fucker. I'm excited to see how it goes. I'll see you in court, pal."
McAfee was talking about it today, and he goes, a lot of people assume I've been in touch with a lawyer. Don't have one. He's like, I mean, everything we said, I said right after, allegedly. And so I don't see where you can get me on that, but I'll see you in court, pal. Like, I'll defend myself. I don't care.
I mean, I didn't say he did it. I'm saying allegedly. That's what they said. And then we just made some jokes.
Yeah.
Are you gonna sue everybody that says anything bad about you? Like, come on.
He's suing the platforms that hammered him because he knows they had big listeners.
Yeah. No doubt.
Those are the two biggest platforms probably in sports media right now.
Yeah.
The longest Star Spangled Banner performance was by Alicia Keys for 2 minutes and 32 seconds. The shortest, which is no shocker here because she was addicted to drugs at the time, like big cocaine girl, Demi Lovato got out of there in 1:50.
Wow.
So she was like, I need my...
Was this skinny Demi?
Yeah, this is when she was in the claws of addiction. She was
I'm not body shaming. I'm just wondering.
She was sneaking
Also,
cocaine on the plane.
So wait, so what's the over under for this one?
Yeah.
I know that's what I'm trying to find.
I mean,
that's if you could take like the average of those two, take the median.
What did I say? 226? I thought it was.
Yeah, so it'll be probably around what you said, like 220. I think he'll stretch it out. I mean, this is
so like if you look at the app, I'm trying to show it on the camera. There are prop bets after prop bets after prop bets. Like you can just keep scrolling down. Oh, you want to zoom in? Don't look at my account. Look at my account. I don't want to get my.
You look at mine.
I don't want you to show me see how much I'm up. You know.
Oh yeah. I'd hate to shame. Humble man.
Let's see. I'm scrolling. I mean, jersey number of the first touchdown score. Like.
I love it. There's so many. Like,
I love it.
There's so many that you could do. It's almost too many, but at the same time,
like
you can pick. This is the biggest gambling day of the year, I'd imagine, outside of probably like March Madness.
$15 billion is going to be bet on the Super Bowl. $15 billion with a B. That's
that's a lot.
ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, I just
They called the national anthem or the Star Spangled Banner. Same thing?
yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean,
Was
Jesus.
that Betsy Ross? No,
Where do
she
you
made the
live?
flag.
Where do you live, man?
Louisiana?
Oh, America.
America.
America. So novelty. I mean, that's what I'm on. Oh, well, I'm not gonna. I can't do this.
Here, I got you.
I was trying. We should be prepared. We should be more prepared. This came out in conversation.
Who puts this in?
Over under 159.
Ooh.
Really?
We
I'll
got to
go
hammer
over.
the over.
I'm going over.
Oh
Over.
yeah.
And do you remember in like 2021, I believe whenever it leaked of the practice of the national anthem, everybody hammered the over because whoever they like saw on
Was this
camera.
the Tampa
went-
year?
Yeah.
You want to know why? Have you ever been? So literally like where the field is, you can be at like the Yankees baseball like minor league facility is right behind it. And I think like you can hear everything going on over there because spring training's going on at that time. So I think that's kind of like how it got leaked and stuff.
Couple
like,
minor leaguers over there.
No, it's so funny. It's right there.
Well, because you know why?
Coach, give me a stopwatch.
When you are playing baseball, they say the national anthem before every game, and the national anthem on every baseball team that I've ever been on is being timed. And so before the coach, whoever,
base
hitting
coach?
coach, first base coach, whoever, he says, "Hey, what you got?" And everybody, based off of what the singer looks like, whoever's singing the national anthem, you make your prediction on how long it's going to be. And then we time it every single time. So, listen, they're experienced in the timing of the national anthem. So when you hear that getting timed, you know, because that's like if you're the equipment guy and you put all the Gatorade in the Gatorade buckets. Like, I mean, that guy's got to be inside trading on this bets. Like, he's got to know. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
exactly what I would think that you would do.
Right?
Like, there's no
Like-
way that you can get caught doing this. You can't go Mattress Mac money, but you can go
I'll bet
50,
$500.
500, and then you spread it out with 10 of your friends. Be like, bro, I know what color it is.
Right.
And then you're just like, I think I'm good.
And then somebody accidentally changes it, or they run out, and you're not the person who does it at halftime, and you're like, oh, man.
I don't think I make enough money to
I
do
screwed
this.
up.
I'm the Gatorade
I
guy.
screwed up.
What color do you think it is? I think the Chiefs did orange the last time.
I don't think they picked, though. No, I guess they would have to pick. They're the
With,
trainer.
no, it's contingent on, like, you pick it off based on the team that you think is going to win.
Right.
Like, you would think Chiefs, that maybe they pick red, but a lot of it is based on what their favorite, the team's
Yeah,
favorite
it's the
Gatorade
flavor.
flavor is.
I'm gonna go blue this year.
I will tell you this. I don't know.
That has the best odds, usually.
Does it?
Yeah, because it's the best flavor.
Yeah.
No, like, it has the best odds to win. It's like, what is it, ice, polar ice?
Yeah, but
It's
it's
the
the
best
easiest
flavor it
one to
tastes.
quote unquote make if you're making it.
It tastes
Yeah,
the
but
best.
it doesn't correlate with any team's color, so that's why people don't usually pick it. But it is a great flavor of Gatorade. I'm not disputing
No, yeah.
that.
Well, but that's why he was saying it though, because of when you usually watch people make it, it's usually however it varies, it's usually like the easiest one to make. And there's a light blue,
Tell
there's
you
a
what,
real blue.
if
like,
I go into the
cool blue.
Gatorade thing in the
Glacier
dugout
Freeze.
and I click on it and it's orange, it's going in the trash can.
Nah, I'm smacking that. I don't know what he's
I
talking
love
about.
orange.
Hate
I don't know what
orange.
he's talking about. I'm smacking
Hate
that.
orange.
I'm gonna even tilt the thing a little bit. Give me some more of that sugar in there.
I hate orange Gatorade. Cannot stand
I don't know
it.
what he's talking about. I'm smacking that.
Or
I
you
don't
could do
care.
like LSU. They had the little special concoction.
The
You had
little green
tiger,
joint?
You had the tiger juice. The
Tiger
tiger
juice?
juice. You
Little
had the
chunk of
blue,
juice?
The blue and the green.
Yes.
And you
the
mix
dirty.
it.
It was the swamp water
It was
juice.
a swamp water juice, baby. And then Maneri would pace up and down and take this much of it and then slam his water down.
Yeah, that's when he
it.
used to slam. That's when he thought I was
Well,
sleeping
this was
in the dugout.
Powerade, right?
Powerade. Yep.
That's when Paul thought I was sleeping in the dugout. Ooh,
Well, when you were
I didn't know
hungover?
about that. No, was it hungover?
No, I thought you could.
No, it was a
Oh,
different,
time?
Yeah, different. Yeah, different strokes right there.
Look, he's sleeping again.
He knows what I'm talking about. That was a sleeping, damn it.
Kicks him.
Speaking of
Watching the
baseball,
game.
speaking of baseball, we talked about it being a week away. Paul Skeens, they had a really good article on Paul Skeens yesterday, I believe, or it came out today.
I think it came out today.
I think it came out today. He is going to be the Friday night guy. It's pretty much been announced. Paul Skeens, when he went to Air Force,
Yo.
went to Air Force as a catcher. Right? So he was a hitter, he was a catcher. Late bloomer. He said once he got to college, he started developing. He started kind of growing his body, and then his arms started getting better, and he started throwing harder and harder and harder and having some command of his pitches. And he's like, okay, well, maybe I should do both. Let him do both. He started hitting. He became a closer his freshman year. His first save / I guess it was a save or a win.
Save.
Was against LSU here, right? Dylan Cruz also took him deep. But he started developing, and then he became the guy who is today. And then he came here, and now he says that he has the ability to where when he's working out and he's hitting to kind of go by feel. Like, okay, I don't feel great based off of how I pitch. Like, I threw, like, so listen, when you pitch, people think, like, oh, pitchers, like, they don't need to be, like, strong or that takes a lot out of you.
The
like,
stress.
It's a lot of stress on the arm, but it's a lot, like, you're exhausted.
So much stress on the arm.
And then your leg, you're pushing off your leg so much, like, you're exhausted, especially if you're a starter. So the next day, he's like, I hit, and, like, if I don't feel great, like, I'm ramping up my hitting, but if I don't feel great, like, I can say I'm going to pull back, I don't feel good. Which is good, because I think he understands the stuff on him pitching and being on the mound, like, that is priority number one. Yeah. That's going to make you the first overall pick. But I think that it's crazy that he came in as a catcher. Now, you know who else was a catcher / pitcher in college? Two of them that you probably don't know. Buster Posey. Buster Posey was the catcher and closed at Florida State.
Golden Spikes Award winner.
Matt Wieters, catcher at Georgia Tech, closer at Georgia Tech.
Both Under Armour guys.
Catchers always usually have really good arms because they have short arm motions. Now that's the way they're teaching you.
I wonder if he throws good BP. Hopefully not from the mound, but I'm just wondering if he throws good BP.
The best BP throws ever are always catchers. Always.
Short arm.
Yeah, right.
Short arm, little darts.
The worst BP throwers, outfielders. I'm throwing the ball from way
outfielders or pitchers because they still think they're pitching. Like they're still trying to get you out. Like, hey, dog, no, just groove it.
The best,
throw this and
the best ones are middle infielders and catchers.
Yeah.
But me, I'm throwing the ball super high.
We don't have feel from 45 feet. It's just let it go.
And I got lower it. It's like this ain't happening.
Second base was perfect. I threw a ton of BP because it's just like, dude, lollipop
darts.
over there.
Yeah, little darts.
Yeah. We had a guy back in the day, back in the Gap, whenever I played baseball, that he thought he was the king dingaling on the mound, and he plunked somebody like 3 times in a row, and the guy, shout out Marcus Matthews, literally dropped the bat and was like, bro, what are we doing here? And he's like, can we get somebody else to throw BP? And the coach
as the
like,
BP guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he came at the BP guy. He's like, bro, what are we doing here? Like, you just hit me 3 times. I'm trying to get swings in. Like, we're trying to get ready for a game. Calls him out. The guy leaves like in a huff, hops his car, peels out, and drives away. We're like, thank God that shit's over. He was a football coach that went to college play, again? Never came back.
Tell you what, if you're a batting practice pitcher and you hit a player, like that is a mental battle that you're gonna have to deal with because like it is hard because now
that's how the yip start.
Yep. Now you're just trying to baby this thing, and you just know like usually it's group 3, right? When you're playing pro ball, it's like, hey, group 3, you have a guy who they're trying to like get used to throwing BP, and you're like, oh my God, this is gonna be miserable, and then you're taking 50 pitches because he can't throw a strike.
If you go to bad organizations, that guy somehow revolves into group 1. If you go to good organizations, he never throws to the starters. It just never happens.
Calling it the reliever.
It's like little things like that you don't think matter. It matters.
Then if you're a starter and you're off, and you're usually supposed to be in group 3, you're like, hey, I'm just not gonna take BP today.
I'm going to the cage.
I'm going to the cage. I'll hit off the machine in the cage. Like I'm not. It's my day off. I'm not playing. You know. But usually, if you're like me, every time you had your day off, you played because the guy who's supposed to take your spot decides I'm just gonna say I get hurt every time that I'm not playing. So then I go in the second inning and then I gotta play a game on my off day. Sucks.
Bet you miss it now though.
I do miss it now. Every time that happened to me though, the last 2021, last year I played, hit a homer. Every single time I came in that game, that the guy, and it was always the same player that would get hurt in the game. The joke was, oh, Mikey's off. He's not really off. So like they started putting me in group 1. Keeping me in group 1 on my off days, and I would hit BP, and I would go sit down in the dugout, and I would not check out. I would lock in. And
well, you dealt with a lot that year,
bro.
You had that. You had the guy that kept quitting.
There's a lot going on. And so then, like the little, the littlest. We
won't say any names.
The littlest thing that would happen, I'm like, oh, let's get loose, go in there. and it was a joke, and everybody would laugh. But every time I did it, Homer.
Bob.
Like, well, fuck. Maybe I should. Maybe I should.
And you
just
know
be a
what? Just
pitcher.
don't ever write me in that thing. Just tell me I'm going in.
Yeah, just tell me I'm going in. Let me just figure it out. All right.
Pinch hit in the second inning.
I mean, that's. God damn. That's it.
They carry a guy on a Phantom just because they know, look, we're burning a bench spot every day. Need something else.
Tough.
But the manager has to explain, like, look, I mean, he's dog shots every time he comes in the second. I got to do it. This makes sense.
Lose the first 2 games of the series. Mikey, you're sitting. We need a homer.
Yeah.
We need a homer. We need something to spark us tomorrow.
So funny. Your life is weird.
It's weird. Baseball's weird sometimes. Baseball's weird.
Weird
Baseball's
every
starting.
time.
Not only college baseball,
But
spring training
to
is
get back to
starting.
the Skeens thing, do
Yeah.
you think that he's a little surprised at how little he's been hitting? Because they're taking the Shohei approach, and
No, I
after
think
we
he,
talked
I think
to
he,
Jay,
I think what I got out of this, I think he understands it. You know what I mean? I think that it's all on him.
Like I
Like,
said, I think he's bought into
yeah,
it.
like I'm ramping up. If just like the hitting part of it now, but I understand that I'm the Friday guy and I'm the ace. Like, hey, if I start on Friday and I'm exhausted, I'm gonna play a 1:00 game on Saturday. Like, all right, maybe I only hit on Sunday, or maybe I get a pinch hit, you know, in the midweek. Like, I don't know, but I think he understands that. You know, I think that's.
because the blueprint Shohei, right? Because they had to protect him a little bit from getting too many at bats or getting tired of playing right field, where it's like we have to protect his arm because he's so good on the mound, but he's such a good hitter. This was early on. Like, I feel like they kind of found a rhythm, but if there's any blueprint to follow, that's the one, right? Like, you kind of, he may not be, I mean, it's hard to compare anybody to Shohei, but
Well, especially because
there's
Shohei
such a
throws
rare
right-handed
case,
and
yeah.
he hits left-handed. So,
Left-handed.
like, his throwing arm is exposed.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, that's also a big risk. Yeah, I mean, that would be the
test case of just how to like divvy up your playing time.
Yeah, DH. I mean, he's only going to DH if he's not pitching. Like,
Yeah.
he's not playing the field. But I mean, I like to see him see what he can do on the mound. I mean, at the plate. I just know that he's so valuable on the pitching on the mound that I don't think Jay's going to want to risk it too much, unless he's just, hey, you just can't take me out the lineup because I'm raking.
Right.
You know. So and he may very well. I mean, he hit 11 homers last year. Like,
I think if you were looking at a different roster than what they have this year, you'd probably see the opportunity for him to hit a good bit more. They're so stacked.
So stacked, yeah.
And in a weird way, and it's not to slight what he can do at the plate. Looking the outlook onto it now with the health and what they do have on the roster is we may not actually need his bat. That's
Right.
where it's at.
right.
So and it's crazy to say because I would imagine if you gave him a full season of hitting, he'd put up some impressive numbers too.
No doubt.
But that's where I think they're at.
All right, let's take a minute break.
Minute break, new breaks.
Yeah, new breaks. Take a minute. Commercial a little different. Hopefully, are we gonna be able to do that today?
Absolutely.
Okay, commercial a little different. We'll take a minute break. We'll be back on the back side of this minute, going into hour 2. Again, the show is scheduled from 1 to 3 ish. So we'll see you on the back side.
Peace.
Peace. No, not peace. Oh, you have the sticker on your head.
Well, that's because we're brought to you by EFCO.
There you go.
Every
Who's
single-
EFCO?
EFCO
Development. There we go.
EFCO
Keep
Development.
going. EFCO Development is a civil construction company based out of Lafayette, Louisiana. They specialize in
Math went bye-bye to me long ago, so
Huh?
I never had a chance to work there. Like
You what?
math, engineering and all of that such. So, the smarter people. That
Well, this is so civil engineering. Let me explain to you how this works. The civil engineering is more about the earthwork and the ground, and you prep the land before you build vertically. And I don't know how much mathematics that they are actually doing
maybe Jay can tell us.
in that spot. So I don't think the math excuse to you is a thing. But EFCO Development, our friends. That's why you have the sticker on your forehead. I'm sure your friend Tyler Day. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. That was a quick minute. Well, it goes by quick. Not a New York minute. That's a regular minute. That's a regular minute. We're talking baseball. A little bit about Paul
Nervous
Skeens.
minute.
A little nervous minute.
Usually don't do that.
What?
Yeah. Usually the excuse. No, it's not like me at all.
Not like me. LSU football's got 9 players
How do you
invited to
get a
the
good look
combine.
at that?
9 players invited to the combine. How do you feel about that?
I mean, what are they the third most in
Third most
in the country behind Georgia and Alabama only, and tied with one other team, but that just goes to show the kind of talent that LSU puts out literally year in and year out. I think they had, in the 2021 year, 12 people drafted? Like, that's only...
2021, 10 people drafted.
Right, on a team that was not very good in terms of wins and losses. So you see the type of talent that LSU is able to produce. Who is your... I think Kayshawn's the easy answer, is who has the most to prove, I guess, at the Combine, or who could benefit the most. But I'm wondering, outside of that, who's an offensive and defensive player you could see kind of popping at the Combine and being able to get himself drafted? Ojulari?
I mean, say not drafted. I think BJ's...
No, that's what I'm saying, but yeah.
I think BJ can pop at the Combine and put himself back into that first-round consideration. Like, oh, man, this guy is like...
a freak.
That's the one?
Freak.
I got the other one. I got the obvious one. It's Kayshawn.
No, he said that. He said
outside of him.
He said outside of
Kayshawn.
Kayshawn.
Yeah, but that's...
Well, because Kayshawn's going to... like, it would be...
That's right up his alley. That's the type of, like, athlete that he is.
It would, because obviously with the Saga that it's been, it would be, I wouldn't say shocking if it went the other way, but I think he understands at least the fact that the way that his career ended at LSU, if he's able to go out and shine at the Combine, you saw, and Jamar was a totally different case. Wherever he sat out the year, there was no real drama around it other than the fact that people hadn't seen it yet. It was one of the few times where, like, I'm not going to play, whatever, I'm sitting out the year. I could never capitalize. The only thing I could do by playing without Joe Burrow and without Joe Brady is hurting my draft stock. And so he said, I'm going to take the year off, work out, and then go to the Combine, and he shines there, like, pops, runs under a 4.4, looks incredibly impressive, and gets drafted in the top 5.
You know who else I think can make a big jump? I'm not saying necessarily first round, but, like, can open some eyes, and I think that people are very high on him, is Jaquelin Roy, right? Like, there's a reason why he left, and people thought, oh, why are you leaving? Maybe you should come back. You know, obviously he's been getting some information from scouts and people there like, hey, we like you. You're going to get drafted. And, you know, I think that if he can put together a good combine and a good pro day, that he has an opportunity to kind of move himself up into, like, maybe the second, third round spots. I was
about to say my other one to watch, but I don't know how much he would jump in the draft because I truly don't know exactly where these guys are. I won't say slotted, but how they're viewed out of the draft. But I do think someone that could probably jump a little bit and that could probably surprise you at the next level because he's versatile is a Jay Ward. I do think he can fit into that nickel spot where he can cover guys, but he can also play in the box a little bit. And I do think he's got a chance to, you know, kind of excel at the next level because he can play kind of the corner and or the safety spot.
What do you think about Mikie?
That was actually going to be my pick.
Yeah.
I think because of how physically impressive he's going to look, like the shorts and T-shirt test.
I think it's going to be important how fast is he going to run.
I agree.
If he can run a 4.5, you know what I mean? Like, if he can show that he's fluid enough to be able to stop and go and turn his hips and flip his hips and do those types of things, maybe not say 4, maybe like in the 4.4s.
I think you got to get down on 4.4.
Yeah, in the 4.4s, like even if it's like a 4.48, like if he can run something like that, I think that his stock goes up because I think that's kind of question mark. He is already physical and
he's 6'2", 220. That's massive.
Well, he probably won't play corner.
If you can get down to 4.4 at that size.
Yeah, he probably won't play corner at that size. At that size, you maybe
That's what I'm saying.
I
think they could if they see his ability to, like, his 40 time based off of NFL draft buzz, which I don't know how much weight this
wasn't.
holds.
Pat P like around that weight when he came out?
Because they said, hey, I mean, Pat P also ran in the 4.3. So.
No, I know. That's my point. That's my point.
So hey, you're gonna be a safety. He's like, no. I can
this.
run. Watch. I'm gonna get down to where you need me to get down, and I'm gonna be a cornerback. And now he's one of the best cornerbacks.
Yeah, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
So what did this website say?
4.59 for his 40 time, but that's without any training. You know, they're able to shave off I don't want to say a full second, but they're able to shave off a good bit of time.
So a full second would be 3.
I mean, a full half,
tenth
whatever, a tenth of a second.
They can shave off a full second.
3.59, coach.
Hey, let me go ahead and talk to whoever they've been talking to and working with, because I'm gonna go back and play baseball. And just try to Billy Hamilton that bitch.
No doubt. Yeah, tenth of a second.
little compound V.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
A full second.
But if he runs if he's that big and he's that if he shows that he's agile enough and he runs in the 4.5s, maybe he is a guy
I can
who
see
can
him
be
being
a
a
safety.
because he's physical enough. Like I said, 6'2", 230. I think
220.
Yeah, you can go either way with it. Like,
It says 230 on that?
No, it's 220.
Oh.
But I'm saying if he becomes a safety, you could probably put some more weight on it. It looks like Taylor Mays back
You
there.
don't need to put 10 more on. He's good.
Yeah. But like I said, I think he's one of the more intriguing prospects in my mind just because of his size and his physicality and he didn't get burned that often at LSU. He was running with whatever cat you lined up across from him. So he obviously has game speed. It just depends on what it translates.
I mean, you look at Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman wasn't a Blazer.
No.
Like, he didn't have a fast 40 time. Now, he did play in a different scheme.
I was about to say.
No, he wasn't. I know. He wasn't playing man coverage.
Sherman was a Stanford grad scheme guy.
Yeah.
Wide
And
receiver in
I'm not
college.
taking that away from him. The guy was smart as hell, and he knew what he was looking for, and he knew how to read
he was
guys.
good at what he was doing.
And the scheme worked for him, and he was great at what he was doing. Unbelievable at what he was
but
doing.
he's not going to bump and run you and run down the field. I get that. I said that, and I was like, it's probably not a good example.
Do you think they put...
But maybe put him in the right scheme, and he figures it out.
Maybe so.
And then my next pick would be on the offensive side. I'm excited to see, it's cool for Dre Jenkins to get an invite. I don't know how much he'll flash at the combine, but I think he's going to be able to show enough to where he'll get drafted like 5th, 6th round. I might be wrong. He might flash in a combine. So I've never seen him run full speed. It doesn't feel like you never saw him out in the open.
Yeah.
It was always making contested catches, third down catches over the middle. He's somebody that you could see just
It'd be
making
interesting
an
to
NFL
see
roster.
what numbers he actually puts up.
Because as much as we've seen him, he's a 4-year guy. You never really felt like you saw that playmaker, like big time plays made in terms of open field, shaking guys and scoring 80. It was always 3rd and 16, or when you needed him on 4th and 11, he's there, he's open, and that kind of stuff. That's when, if you're a scout or a combine guy, I need you to turn on the tape and be like, look, this is what he does. He's open. I don't think the numbers are going to matter for him at the combine. It's going to be getting in a room and talking to him.
Yeah, I still think Jure is probably going to be an undrafted guy. I would hope he gets drafted. But I think for Jure, maybe being undrafted...
How many undrafted guys get invited to the combine? Does that happen often? I feel like they're pretty much evaluating your invitation on the fact that you...
No, not necessarily. There's some guys that go to the combine that don't get drafted. Yeah. And if he's projected 6th, 7th round, that's still... For me, the reason I say that is if you're undrafted, at least you get to pick somewhere where you can go as far as this team, I like this coach or this coach believes in me. But I guess if they draft you, they believe in you too. I don't know. 7th rounder, 6th, 7th round would be great. I would love for all these guys to get drafted.
He's projected a UDFA.
Mm-hmm. So just because you go, you don't have to get drafted. They're trying the players union is trying to stop the combine in the combine. Just do regional pro days. Mm-hmm. Which, I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, I don't think.
I think they could tweak the format, right? Where you don't get... I think the biggest flack about the NFL Combine is when you get in the room and the questions that get asked, whether it be... Was it Des Bryant they asked if his mom was a sex worker?
No, the biggest question or the biggest, I guess, the biggest unknown you get about the NFL Combine is the lack of sleep and rest the guys are able
they
to
put
get.
you a boot camp.
They're going to bed super late. They're up to run the 40 and all this other testing stuff really early. There's not much of a you see them. They're doing it in conference rooms in the hotel and stuff like that, preparing. That's the biggest unknown and kind of I guess if they were to do regional pro days, I guess it would allow them maybe to put these guys in a better controlled environment, I guess if you will, because they're never gonna play in situations like that. You get what I'm saying? So I guess maybe that'll allow guys to be able to do things if you 2 years ago you don't have Najee Harris having to drive up the day before all the way to Indianapolis because stuff broke down or whatever had happened. I forget what had happened, but stuff like that. You get a little bit of you get less of situations like that.
And I think it was a weather stuff.
I think it was.
He couldn't fly.
Yeah.
So flights got canceled, so he had to drive. But listen, the combine, I think there's a lot of value to it. As far as all right, let me see what this guy looks like. Let me see him run. Let me actually get eyes on him and talk to him and get one-on-one conversations. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to translate what they see on the field. It's easy to go and create this player in a lab and say, okay, I can go and train for the 40. I can go train for all these drills and perform really well. But what's going to happen whenever I'm going up, heads up? Am I competitive enough? Am I going to be able to handle the competition around on the other side of me? That's the stuff that it's hard to evaluate on the field, right? It's like a baseball showcase. Like you see the showcase All-American guys who can throw hard, hit homers, and look good, and then all of a sudden the game starts and they can't sniff a pitch. They look terrible, bad attitude, the whole deal, right? Like that, but that's anything. You don't really know how they are unless they're on the field, and vice versa. Some guys may not perform really well in that situation, but then you put them on a thing and they're a lot faster on the field than you thought they would be, and those types of things. So
some guys are gamers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Game speed is a lot different than just combine speed.
And if you are that good of a gamer, then you're gonna get found. Like you're gonna make a team. Like you see all these guys get drafted late or undrafted and make teams like just because they're gamers, and you know that shines whenever you're put in a situation like in spring and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, the best example of that is Rohan Davey. Apparently, he was piss poor in practice. He'd be the first one to tell you. He's like, I wasn't good in practice, but when the lights came on, it felt different. Like that happens to some guys where it's just
that's even different than combine.
Yeah, it's different.
Like that's even different than that too. So
like, that's harder. That's harder because like you may not get the opportunity in a game. You know what I mean, to show.
But this is with LSU. You know?
Yeah, right. But like you may not get that opportunity to get put into a game to show that, hey, I am good enough to do this. I'm just different in the game. If you're different on the field of play, like as far as like training as opposed to playing, that's a little bit easier to see with your eyes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, we'll see.
I mean, Jamarcus had one of the best pro days of all time. Everybody that's ever been to that combine, or I guess it was a pro day, whenever he threw at LSU. Like Todd McShay still talks about it. Like every time he gets asked the question of when were you, like the time you were most fooled or most wrong at obviously like at a pro day or like a scouting event, and he was like, Jamarcus Russell put on a clinic at LSU when he was throwing against there. Like it was an most impressive.
But he was that impressive against real talent.
Exactly,
too.
but they had never seen it up close like that. And then he goes, I should have known whenever he had to go to the media and he asked for a stool to sit on because he was so. Like, he was dog tired. He was, like, sweating, out of breath. Like, it wasn't that long of a workout. And Jamarcus is dead right now. And he asked for, somebody to get him a chair. He's like, that's never happened at any pro day I've ever gone to. He's like, looking back on it, I should have known that maybe there were some red flags. But
I could imagine,
the throwing was
just watching him flick balls and just...
I'd be enamored, dude.
And not only did he flick it, the ball was... He may have thrown the tightest spiral I've ever seen in my life. Am I wrong? You would know. I don't know.
Parallel?
You caught it.
He had a good arm. Just put it like that.
Oh yeah, no.
My right pinky knows because it didn't stay in one. It didn't stay in one piece on one throw.
Tore your whole hands.
He had a very good arm.
And it's spinning, coach. Like it's whistling.
That thing came in there ripping hands up. I can tell you that.
The first time you saw it, you're like, what the is that?
Jay Mitch had to run routes with garden gloves on, so he didn't get his hands ripped off.
I was like, bro, what? I mean, Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. When you catch the first one, you're like, oh my
god.
No,
I'm not. I'll be honest with you. He wasn't. It wasn't that because he wasn't like
trying to do it.
Yeah.
Well, he had feel too,
yeah.
So it wasn't always just the fastball. So like, I wouldn't say it was that. Like, but when he let it go, you're like, good God.
Like God forbid you run a comeback route, and he's getting some pressure, and he gets rid of it a little too quick. Boy, you better get your
like
head
he
turned
wasn't
around.
throwing.
Put
it like this: he wasn't throwing slant routes the same way he threw 12 to 15 yard or 21 yard comebacks. They came out different. Like he had feel with it.
The fact that he
but when he let it go,
yard comeback too is impressive.
Yeah, it's when
on
he let it go.
The opposite hash. That's a hard
just put it like this: he broke my finger on an out route.
NFL throw.
I was like, ooh. I tried. I remember I came out the break and I caught it. And it hit my finger, and I don't even know if I caught it, honestly. I think it hit my finger. I got swatted out of my hand, and I'm like, God damn, that hurt. And I looked at my hand, and my pinky was pointing the other way. And I'm like, inside the glove, I'm like, yeah, I don't think that, Jack, this not supposed to look like this. I need you. Fix this thing.
What's wrong? Show me your hand.
I was like, what is this?
I'm not double jointed.
Then you had Matt Flynn.
No, then you had
who
Ryan.
threw the easy ball to catch.
Before that, because my freshman year when I was there was Jamarcus, and then it was Matt, and then you had Mr. Fastball.
Apparently, he didn't have the changeup.
Oh, he had nothing but the heater his freshman year, and he was throwing that thing, boy. Hey, we all knew, like, hey, if Ryan's back, hey, get your head around, because it's coming hot. It's coming in there. And he spun it well too, but
it
was
so good.
It was coming in hot.
At that throw he made in the SEC championship to Demetrius Byrd, he just layered
Oh,
it
yeah, because that was the only game he ever played 3 snaps in a row. So
yeah, he started that game in Middle Tennessee State. Watch both of them. rock hard.
We're gonna always talk about that. I can't believe you ever said that.
Still feel right about it. I'm gonna have to go back and count the snaps.
You're gonna go back and count every single game.
I would watch. Yeah, I would watch that. I would watch every game of that year, no question.
That was a good year.
Natty year,
It's a great year.
That was. What
except
else
for
we
the
got?
Kentucky game.
What else we got, boys?
Wouldn't watch
Oh, that was
again.
a triple. That in Arkansas.
Arkansas.
What
I was at the Arkansas
what a
game.
what a mountaintop to the bottom of the mountain 2 weeks in a row, huh?
Things
fell off
the
the
stress you put me through. Charles Scott. Hey,
Charles Scott.
we're undefeated in regulation. Les Miles.
Yeah, true story.
It was.
It worked.
Both
That
were triple overtime games, right?
Yeah.
triple overtime, 3-point losses, both of them.
Who was it? Woodson.
Where?
Yes.
In
No.
Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were good that year with him.
yeah.
Sick armbands.
And then they
Skinny
had,
boys.
the 3-headed monster.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Well, really
Arkansas-
two, because the third one, who was also an NFL back, never really played that year. But they had the 3-headed monster at Arkansas: Felix Jones,
Peyton
McFadden,
Hillis.
and Peyton Hillis. And Peyton.
And
really
who was the
didn't play that much.
quarterback? Matt Jones.
Casey Dick.
No, it was Casey Dick. Matt Jones was before that.
Yeah.
Matt Jones also beat LSU.
I know. With the pass to Birmingham on the right down the right sideline. I remember. Then Matt Jones ended up becoming
Big
an
coat
NFL
guy.
wide receiver.
They found him in the back of a van before the draft, and he still got drafted because I think he got to the combine and ran like 4.3.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, we're going to put him at receiver. Then they found him in the back of a van doing line after line. They're like, oh, Matt might need some help. Let's get him to the league.
Is that how it
Played for
happened?
Jacksonville for a minute.
Yeah, he got some time.
Is that how it happened?
I mean, Jacksonville could be probably like the third worst town you could go to if you've got addiction
Jacksonville's
issues.
not
Jacksonville's not how you draw it up when you see NFL cities. I'm just gonna tell it to you like that.
I don't want to get in that pool.
All right. Before we get down to the segments, give me your prop bets that you like for the weekend.
We talked a little bit about this off the air.
Yeah, right. That's why I want
Yes.
to talk about it on air.
I think it's been a big red. I always harken back to the Atlanta Patriots Super Bowl. I forget how long ago that
So I think
was.
it's the Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta
I'm just
Falcons
joking.
versus
I'm
the
just
New England
joking.
Patriots. Tom
The
Brady
Atlanta
versus
Patriots.
Atlanta Patriots. Hell of a team. Probably would have won the Super Bowl. But we did tails that year. We all put like $20 on it. We had like a group of 10 of us that did a like massive bet on tails. I think that's the last. Yes, we all put our money together, pulled it up, and hit tails, and it was an electric celebration. I have the video somewhere. I might put it on social before Super Bowl. But so it makes me want to go back to tails because
I'm going to tails.
I think I'm good, but it's been heads. I think the last 2 years.
Why? You know,
And then you could have a
that's not how really odds work, but you know.
especially with a coin,
Right.
50-50.
That's it.
But I just hope there's not a Jerome Bettis situation. Do you remember that Thanksgiving? He was like, heads. He's like, he called Tim. He's like, bro, I called heads. He was like, nope. The referee just stuck with the decision.
Wow, can you imagine how that
That's
happened?
tough.
And it's on the microphone.
That's tough.
So now with replay, they'd go back to replay and say, hey, you know what? Wait a minute.
It was a very Major League Baseball umpire scenario where, like, I know I'm wrong, but there's nothing
but
you can
I'm
do
not-
about it.
I'm not gonna back down, yeah.
Absolutely. But we're going tails. And I put in I have a Chiefs future in already. And so I might hedge a little bit with the Eagles. What do you want from me?
No, I love that.
Yeah. And then I was.
Yeah, you don't need to bet the Chiefs now.
Well, then I'm going to bet.
Oh, he will.
I already did.
Oh, he will.
I teased the Chiefs in the over at 8.5, and I think like 46. So
I think I do want to go. I think I'm gonna dabble with the over unders. I haven't gotten into it yet, but
I haven't gotten into the props
Got a
that
couple
intensely
days.
yet. But I do like. I also like Travis Kelce for MVP. I think just the value there is excellent.
well, that's
And
Jack. So Jack's bets. He has
Jack has great. I like where he's at.
Me too. Jack has Chiefs at +1.5 now. Jack can't legally bet, so this is just him. If he could bet, this is what he would do. What happens is he wins these bets because there's no money on the line. The minute there's money on the line, these
You
bets
start
don't
thinking
win.
differently. You do. Yeah, of course. It's
So
how it always
Chiefs,
goes.
he has the Chiefs +1.5. He has the over 51. He has Travis Kelce MVP, which is +1,000, which I think that's a pretty good value at Travis Kelce getting the MVP. Jalen Hurts first TD scorer, that's +575. And he has Marquez Valdez-Scantling to score a touchdown at +220.
I like that one.
That'd be
Actually,
long.
He's been
I actually
hot.
like that one a lot.
He's been hot.
And they got those other guys are a little banged up too.
Yep.
I like that one.
You got any more? Or are you done?
Done for now.
What do you got?
I don't have any. I just told y'all I didn't really look at it yet.
I am going to put down a crazy parlay of prop bets though, just to have, you know.
I like kind of diving in those on like
Maybe
the more like.
you put in like $25, you win $5,000. Yeah, like something like that, just fun.
I like looking at those like the morning of the big game.
Me
like
too.
kind of just getting into it from the start of the day.
And you're eating your dip, you're eating your buffalo chicken dip, or your what's your like the taco dips. What are your favorite dips?
Oh, that's a great. I'm a basic. I like it.
I'm a chip and salsa guy.
Yeah,
maybe
I
chip
like
and
chips
queso
and
guy.
chips and
I like
queso,
chips and
Don't
queso.
put those in front of me. I will eat 17
Me
bags
too,
of
but
them.
I
game.
also very much enjoy the buffalo chicken dip. But even more than that, I think I enjoy the taco dip better than the buffalo chicken dip. Right, a taco dip with like ground beef, cheese, that stuff. Now, my cousin, your friend, Robert Karam, his mom used to make a pepperoni pizza dip.
Oh
boy!
Wow,
that is fire.
Wow.
Now it'll burn the shit out of the roof of your mouth.
I would dabble in that. Yeah,
but it is fire. I don't know how to do it.
I'd dabble in it.
Very hard.
Jump right back into the salsa pool, but I'd dabble in it.
Like, I love the good chips and salsa. Maybe some good nachos too are good. You know.
God damn, Mike.
See, I don't go like, dude. This is hungry. Dude, this is kind of like your big game. I'd imagine with the way that you can put some food away.
Are you a breakfast and lunch guy in the Super Bowl, and then
No,
just
I
crush,
save.
or do you just let it all eat at 4:00?
No, actually, I have a little bit of a breakfast, but it's like a later breakfast, like not a lot, but just enough to like get me over. Because I don't want to go into Super Bowl starving, because I want to actually be able to watch it. I don't want to be scarfing down food. I mean, Coach, when I'm hungry, I'm hungry.
I've never seen it before. I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Tell you what,
It's
Coach, I
incredible.
can put down some food when I'm hungry.
I had to teach him how to like chew and swallow because it was just like
I don't even know
gone.
I don't know if he breathes between. when
No,
he's
and then he's like, "Oh, I feel better."
And the
It's like,
messier the food is, the faster I eat it. Because it's just so messy. I'm just like, let me just get this out of my way so I can just.
sloppy.
and I also have. I think I have two props that I like for not for food but for the game. Boston Scott.
I was gonna do that one. I like that because he always seems to score a touchdown in these situations.
I was gonna say his over under for rushing yards is 7.5.
I like a Gainwell touchdown too. I
thought about him too, but see, Gainwell, I feel
he
like
doesn't get the snaps. Yeah,
he doesn't. Well, he gets the yards because he gets those big plays, but he doesn't get in the end zone.
But that's the big one, you know. This kind of things switch up. I like a Gainwell touchdown
Boston
because
Scott-
because your boy also had 2 last game, Miles Sanders. So I'm like, ooh, this would be a
Yeah.
good game for
Yeah.
Gainwell to be the guy
Boston's
that
got
gets in.
7.5 rushing or just yards.
Over 7.5 rushing yards and Kenneth,
7.5.
What
7.5.
What about receiving?
Gainwell is 19.5.
Yeah, but
yards
what about
rushing.
Boston Scott? They don't have that.
That's not. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking at. They have Isaiah Pacheco over 16.5. Pacheco over from
I have no idea where he's from.
Rutgers
Pacheco.
over 16.5 receiving yards,
How many? 16.
or combined 64.5.
I like that.
rushing receiving.
I like that. 64.5. He's running the shit out of it now.
I like him. I like him over the 16. And he said 16.5 receiving yards.
Mm-hmm.
I like him over it. I like
But
the
see,
screen. I like the screen game popping
Yeah,
for
but
the
here's
boys
the
this week.
deal: the guy who gets those are
McKinnon.
McKinnon gets the catches.
I like the screen game popping, and I'm just telling you, I like the big game. You break trends a little bit. I just like it. I like it.
Travis Kelce over 6.5 receptions.
Lock.
Oh no, I can't bet it.
Lock.
I mean,
Lock. That might happen before the half.
that may happen in the first quarter. That may happen on the first drive. He may just get the only ball thrown to him on the first drive.
Jerick McKinnon anytime touchdown.
I have that
I
on
like
there.
that one too. Yeah, those are the kind of ones that I'm looking at. But
I like that.
I like the Boston Scott over 7.5. He always, I don't know what it is with Soriani, but he's got like a little soft spot for Boston Scott. He always gets him in the game. So shout out Louisiana.
La Tech, baby.
La Tech.
He's from Baton Rouge.
Big miss.
I mean, he went to La Tech. I don't think it was a miss. I'm just happy that he
Found his way to the
Yes.
league.
All right. This is your day. I wish we had the music. Look, we had a good conversation yesterday. We're gonna start having some better visuals on this thing, but this is Lloyd's moment right here.
This
This is the mistake of the day. Brought to you by.
Doe's Eat Place.
There you go.
And this is one that is near and dear to my heart because just unfortunate, you hate to see somebody leave a group that you feel like you're a part of, and Quinn Ewers has decided to abandon the mullet. And it's just a sad day all around whenever you see this kind of stuff happen.
Oh, man.
You
look brand new, cuz. Oh, man.
You just hate to see it happen to somebody that was in the, you feel like you're
Are you
kind
ever
of part of
gonna
a
cut
fraternity.
yours? When do you think you're gonna cut yours?
Not as long as I have these 2 feet on the ground.
You're gonna have a mullet until you're 70.
I think I'll probably be gone before that, but
Jesus.
yeah.
But like
55.
you're gonna have a mullet the rest of your life.
Yeah,
Like
why not?
when you walk the aisle, mullet.
Mullet for sure. Oh, that's a no
Like,
doubter.
There's no chance you cut this in the next 2 years.
No, I mean it depends on how popular it keeps getting, but to see Quinn Ewers fade away gives me more hope that I can outlast the people that are just doing it for the trend, like our boy for the Dallas Stars. Bad day for mullets.
Yeah, but
That kid got mollywopped,
Oh wow.
Oof.
and then
could've-
he was
that
on the
could've
promo before.
That could have been the mistake of the day.
I thought about that too, but I felt like this kind of
Boy, what a slow punch that he
just
wore. Like that guy. One, you knew it was coming. The guy had leverage on you already.
Oh man.
Like you were talking.
He
up
just
to this
punched
guy,
through him too.
and he literally just slow punched, just heavy fisted, got him. Didn't do it to where he could knock him out, and then he just did the whole little league thing. And
I'ma
held
just-
him out with
I'ma
his
lean
hands.
on you. I'ma
And
just
I'm
put
just
some
gonna hold
weight
you out
on
to
you.
where like you're swinging like this, and he has his hands out because he's so much bigger than you.
In front of his girl.
And then his
That's
girl,
tough.
his girl
tried
She,
to
she
help.
looked like she could fight better than him.
Oh
She
yeah.
went for it. She went for it.
I mean, let's go double. Who says we can't? Double mistake of the day since it's a Friday.
Bing.
Good.
Bing.
He took it though.
He did, and then he came back and he
He was out for like a very split second. Oh, God. His old lady with the jump punches. She was trying.
I'm trying to hit.
And this guy's like, he goes,
Just go ahead, sit down, buddy.
yeah, I'm just gonna hold you here for a little bit.
That's
And
a
then
tough
someone play
spot.
with his hair. Someone play with his hair.
But the best part, there's another video out there with he's in like a Dallas Stars like going
Yeah, I
to break,
saw that.
where he's like they were featuring this guy
And like he like pulled his hair out, did the whole
and did
deal.
the mullet shake. But bad day for mullets everywhere. It's unfortunate.
Tough.
Wasn't
Right.
good for him.
I'll keep representing till the day I die.
That was a good one. Those are two good ones.
Two, yeah.
We're gonna do the curtain calls brought to you by our friends here at Assured Partners,
AKA?
aka me. Yama.
I do. My curtain call goes to. I'm gonna take it back to the NFL honors. I thought it was a dope moment when they put all of the doctors from the Bengals and from Buffalo, from those two hospitals too, on the stage. Gave them a huge ovation, and they also brought out Damar Hamlin, and he gave a big long speech as well. I thought that was pretty cool to see that, especially with all the rumors that kind of spread late through this thing. And if you go back to it, it's so funny too. Like they kind of showed the shot again of him in the booth at the Buffalo. It was literally a blizzard, and people were saying, "Oh, we can't get a clear picture, bro. It's a blizzard outside. You can't see. Period." Right. So I thought it was cool the speech that he gave, all the doctors being right there behind him in front of all of his peers. I thought it was cool to see that. So for whoever put that together, whoever thought that was
Obviously
the way to go,
he's real.
right?
He's alive.
Whoever thought that was a
All
way
these
to go,
stupid people.
I thought it was awesome. It was a good look.
He should have been man of the year.
I mean,
It was at least man of the hour.
yeah, that's not the Walter Payton Man of the Year. He may get it next year.
He may.
You know what I mean?
If that charity
saying-
keeps rising the way it did,
That's
he
what
may.
I'm saying. I
He
mean, he
may.
could have been a strong case for man of the year. That would have probably been the better way to do it. But I guess it's already predetermined.
I mean, not before the year. That's not.
No, I'm saying before that happened, they probably had the
Yeah.
votes in for.
Yeah.
Got to give Dak something. Got to keep him relevant somehow. Trash. Good tight end though. He would have been. Les was right.
Go ahead. Cheers.
I think he made more money this way.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh, mine. We touched on it a little bit. It is Brett Favre just going for everybody's neck because when you corner a rat, this is what you get. They lash out, and so anybody that's been speaking ill of his name is just on the chopping block. So I just thought it
So
was
your
funny.
curtain call to Brett
I
Favre?
know my curtain call is to Pat McAfee and Shannon Sharp.
Those are two people that are very hard to come at.
That's what I'm saying.
They're
Like
not going to hold their tongue.
That's why my curtain call is to Brett for attempting, and to it's going to end up obviously. Pat is.
I hope they go to court.
I do too.
I
I
want
want
to
to see
them-
Pat on the stand.
I want to see all of them on the stand.
Imagine like a joint interview or a joint, like I
wanna
guess
see the
cross
I wanna see
examination.
the
Yeah,
deposition.
the depot. This would be, I mean, OJ territory.
Yeah.
Brett doesn't need. He can't publicly speak, right? You think he rocks the copper fit during?
I mean, Brett's not dumb. Like Brett can talk. Like Brett can speak. Like he's not unintelligent. I really don't believe that.
It's the same guy that played quarterback and didn't know what cover 3 was till like 3 years into the league. I don't think he's actively trying to learn.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like he could talk, like he can like
he can clearly bullshit.
He can articulate his way.
It doesn't matter. He's got an attorney.
Yeah,
it doesn't
exactly.
matter.
All right, my current call is Cam Jordan. At the
you didn't want to give it to Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, I mean I could do that.
Oh no, go.
But at the NFL honors, Cam Jordan has been probably one of the best
entertainers.
Well, not just entertainers, but like faces of the Saints, right?
Ambassador.
Ambassador for New Orleans Saints because he loves it in New Orleans. He loves the Saints. He's said that he wants to be a Saint for the rest of his life. Like he is just committed to it, and when you have guys like that, that bodes well for the future of the organization. Well, and then as long as he's saying for something.
Saints All-Pro defensive end Cam Jordan. What are you singing? Who are you singing to?
You know, tell them, ladies. Met you with a rookie, so you should leave me tired.
Awesome.
No, wait, you gotta hear the end of it.
Hey, good luck, Coach. Make sure you stay in the AFC.
Can't leave. You can't leave the end of it out.
I thought that was great. Cam Jordan's great. He held some notes. I cannot hold a tune.
No, you got to be able to sing. Like you got to know that you can sing to go up there and do that.
Sing enough. Yeah. Like he's hit some notes. Like they sing songs.
Yeah,
that's great. Great Friday show. Second Friday from the new studio.
Jerry sings the songs. Remember the Titans?
Yeah. It was Jerry Lewis, and who's his partner?
Somebody else gets the girls.
I forget his
name. Sunshine.
Anyways,
he gets the boys.
Great show. See you next Monday.
Love is love. He kissed his teammate. He kissed Gary Burt. No, he kissed.
I'm not
Gary
going
Bertier.
Kiss me, man.
Yeah,
it was Gary Bertier.
Gary Bertier. Cannot replace Gary Bertier.
Left side.
Strong side.
All right. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. We'll be back live on Monday. We will have the show from the studio. I will not be in the studio, but I will be participating in the show via video call because technology is a beautiful thing.
Allegedly.
No, we're doing it. It's happening.
Make sure it works.
No, it's happening. We're making this work.
Test for me.
We're making this work. We'll have the show Jay Johnson Mondays continue next week. We will talk about how he's leading up into the season. And then next week is the actual game week of LSU baseball. So enjoy the weekend. If there's any other crazy news, follow us on Twitter. We'll talk about it, I'm sure. And we love you. Thanks for the support. Like and subscribe. Share it. Tell a friend. If you like to listen to us, we're anywhere you get your podcasts. We'll see you on Monday, 6 to 8 p.m. Peace.